This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy met with President Biden on Wednesday for one-on-one talks over raising the debt ceiling. Joseph Clark reports McCarthy emerged from the White House with the negotiations still up in the air, but voicing optimism that his hour-long conversation set a new tone. McCarthy said he made clear to the president where the House stood in the debt talks. The White House said after the meeting that raising the debt limit is not negotiable or conditional. Two Mexican cartels pose the greatest criminal drug threat the United States has ever faced, a top Drug Enforcement Administration official told a House subcommittee. Tom Howe reports DEA Associate Administrator for Business Operations John DeLina told the House Energy and Commerce Committee Subcommittee on Health that the Sinaloa cartel and Jalisco New Generation cartel controlled the supply chain for illicit fentanyl by obtaining chemicals from China. They turn the chemicals into finished fentanyl and press it into fake prescription pills, ship it as powder, and cut it with drugs such as cocaine and methamphetamine. Overdose deaths involving synthetic opioids have soared from nearly 10,000 in 2015 to more than 70,000 in 2021. The University of Delaware's trove of documents from President Biden's time as a senator is the Justice Department's likely next target after investigators search the president's Rehoboth Beach home for classified material. Jeff Murdoch reports the university is the only other known location where the president's papers are stored. In 2012, he donated documents from his 36-year Senate career to the university, including committee reports, legislation drafts, and correspondence. University officials have pledged not to make the documents public until 2 years after Biden retires from public life. White House spokesperson Ian Sam said the president's personal attorneys are working with the DOJ to identify places where classified materials could have been stored, but he declined to name specific locations. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. The mayor of Bucha, Ukraine, acknowledges he had little inkling a year ago that his quiet community just outside of Kyiv was about to become the global symbol for Russian brutality in the 11-month-old war. After a brutal 5-week occupation by Russian forces, Mike Glenn reports Mayor Anatoly Fedoruk said he's focused on helping his neighbors and constituents recover. UN officials say the death toll from the siege included 73 civilians, but Ukrainians say the total death toll was 6 times higher. Bucha had a population of about 50,000 before the invasion. The devastation wrought by Russia has left the city without heating, electricity, or an adequate supply of drinking water. Some crime experts and social scientists say that a rash of high-profile vigilante incidents could be a sign that some Americans are losing faith in the ability of police to serve and protect. Former Baltimore police officer Peter Moskos told our Matt Delaney that if police can't control crime and public safety, my fear is that it will continue to increase. Academics have long argued that failing institutions or even the public perception that systems are failing provide fertile ground for vigilantism, even when problems are unrelated to criminal justice. And finally, Guy Taylor and Mark Kellner recapped the International Religious Freedom Summit in Washington. The event featured remarks from a wide range of international and U.S. religious and political leaders. The Washington Times Foundation and the Universal Peace Federation, both connected to this news organization, sponsored the event. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at WashTimes for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.